Namaste, Jai Bharat. Those students of history, right in the schools, you must have studied about Chiang Kai shek and Kuomintang, China, etc. That story evolved into Thailand of today. And Thailand and China, they have the differences. China claims that Thailand belongs to China, and Thailand says that they're independent and free and they have their own system of governance, etc., etc., etc. But then China doesn't agree. Now that remains for quite some time. Something really like Tibet. Tibet is an independent country, though Bharat is not really intervening beyond a point. But in principle, we are with the Dalai Lama. Of course, the Lama tradition belongs to Tibet, and they belong to us in the spiritual sense. Buddhism, Jainism, Sikh Dharma, they all belong together to the Bharatiya Sanskriti. We already had and always had the acceptance of multiplicity and plurality. So it's quite natural for people of Bharat to accept things, especially those originated out of this Sanskriti, this culture. So recently what happened is the president of Thailand, whom China did not recognize officially, was going to South America, and he programmed to stop over at New York. Now why he must have programmed to stop over at New York must be having political relations of interacting with the US people. But then Trump didn't allow that. President Trump, who is always in the news for claiming everything, is very interesting. I have a story in my mind. I don't think I'll say that. He claims that I've done this, I've done that. So why did he didn't, he said, no, this stopover is not possible. And very conveniently, the president of Thailand said, no, we are not going because we have some internal difficulties, natural disasters, all those things. So he puts this trip possibly explicitly must be saying that we are putting it in abeyance, but rather that is not going to take place because he planned to stop over at New York, and probably his intention was to stop over at New York, etc., to make some thing, talks, whatever, and which President Trump didn't permit because evidently he is afraid of China. With all kinds of threats and talks which he makes, he is indeed afraid of China because I think China is trying to follow what Bharat is doing. If you don't, if you put tariffs on our goods, we don't sell you. Simple. I think China is in that line. We don't sell you. If China doesn't sell things to US, they will really count all the stars. They'll count stars. They'll be in trouble. What kind of trouble everyone knows, or we can find out. Geopolitics. So if China doesn't send things to US, they'll have to buy things from elsewhere, and they don't have area from there they can buy in the kind of quality which they want, and they will definitely be much more expensive than what they get from China. This President Trump didn't want to offend rather China, Xi Jinping, so he must have really got scared. Actually, he is in a tight spot in spite of all the boisterous words, talks, loud talks. He is indeed, in fact, in a kind of situation. And possibly China is trying to follow what Bharat is doing. And Bharat, of course, is already told, if you try to be funny with us, we don't respect us, we won't give you our things. We would like to trade with people with mutual respect. And if you think that you are the boss, or if you consider yourself as a boss, the others also must consider you as the boss. No one is considering, especially Bharat don't. And probably China also is following that. And why should China bother? They can afford, probably, their rich economy, they can afford not to sell to US and find different markets. Bharat is doing that. We are trying to get all kinds of markets, and perhaps we have better relations with many countries in the world than China, because there's something missing between China and Bharat, that Do not have that kind of trust which fathers earned from the world through our transparency and activities. And that's one thing if China solves, they can really make US dance. Anyway, it's evident that Trump is rather scared of China, so he didn't want to take a risk. We shall meet again with some other thought. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.